If you, like me, met the word aporia recently, maybe it's not an accident. Maybe this is exactly the word that we need to be looking at now, and maybe it says a lot about the age that we're living in. The word aporia means to be lost, but more than to be lost, it means not to have a path. Pathlessness. We are in the middle of a kind of marketplace where everybody's shouting at the same time, where you've got jinn and you've got marketeers and you've got angels and demons and you've got everybody you know and everybody that they know, and they're all talking at the same time and they're all saying something different. And you listen to one conversation and it leads you into another, and then you've forgotten why you came to the market and you don't know what you're doing. And this seems to be the characteristic of the age, as if we're just being tossed around on an ocean of information and disinformation, and there's no way to verify any of this information. And we're beginning to ask ourselves, at least I am, what are my criteria? How do I know how to evaluate anything? Before anything can be done, a choice has to be made. And the inability to make a choice is pathlessness. This card, the Seven of Cups, which is in the tarot, shows a kind of ghostly figure standing there and looking at all the things that life arrays in front of you. You know, a career, glory, magical ability, beauty, power. What is it that you seek? And it's a cup card, so it's your heart's desire. The emotional body being unable to discern, even though discernment is supposed to be the great power of the heart. The state of aporia I see like being the hanged man in the tarot, as well as the Seven of Cups. And here is the instruction, I think, because you have to stop. If you're hanging, you can't struggle, and you have to let the blood run to your head, and you have to see everything again for the first time. And you can't act until the cosmic forces allow it. There's a kind of surrender, I believe, that has to occur when you find yourself in a state of aporia. You can't deny it. You can't just plaster over it with any new philosophies you've just laid your hands on. You have to just really go into it. You know, the way you have to get through to go through, and you have to submit to kairos, which is another word that is something we need at the moment, which is the idea of the right time, because you can do the right thing but at the wrong time, and so it becomes the wrong thing. And the wrong thing to do is to struggle. In the Orphic mysteries, many of the initiates were buried with these gold leaf tablets rolled up in their mouths, and on them there were instructions as to what to do when they reached the afterworld, and that was to ask the the gods, the beings that they found there, to drink from the water of memory and not from the waters of forgetfulness, in order to be able to maintain a level of consciousness that had been so hard won in this world of illusion, and to be able to continue and hold this golden thread of the self through different reincarnation cycles that was only reserved for the initiate. But even if we don't want to think of death, we can think of it in life, how to hold yourself not as an identity, an external thing like your skin color, your gender, or your nationality, or your level of education, or your physical appearance, or any of that, but some kind of soul note, some kind of deep knowing and recognition of who you are as a soul, that should never be lost, never be drowned out, always retained, even though everything changes around us. You see, when we name something as Mercury, Hermes, Logos, the god of words, if we name something, we gain a level of power over it. We're able to then separate it ourselves from it, become in some way the observer, take a piece of ourselves and examine it. What is it in me that is suffering from aporia? A couple of years ago, I wanted to start lucid dreaming. I have a natural level of lucid dreaming, but I wanted to build on it and develop it. I was very afraid of the idea that death might be like a permanent dream in which you can never seize hold of yourself anymore. That worlds, just like in the morning when you wake up and the dream that you were just so intensely involved with just evaporates like a soap bubble. And that all these worlds that you've invested so much in are mere illusions, and that there is no reality, that this just goes on endlessly because you've lost any sense of who you are. Fundamentally, I believe that the way out of aporia is surrender and faith, an understanding, a clear understanding that we are sacred beings and that the soul is the driver of life. And that when the decks have been cleared, when the tower's fallen, when everything is incomprehensible and we can't find our way, that is the moment the rune, it's need fire, it's Nauthiz. It's the moment where you find the fire within, and that fire within is a mirror of the fire above. It's the light, and you align with that light. Your inner light and fire aligns with the great light and fire, and this is the way out. I think that's all I want to say. I really hope that if you've been listening, you got something from this. I just want to put these thoughts out there because I know I'm not the only one feeling this. Thanks for watching.